Yo, what is happening, guys, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Finance channel. As you can tell by title and the thumbnail, today we will be talking about the Kingpyn situation, which is very, very public now. There's a whole issue with Kingpyn. Shocker. The Wade concept, actually made a video on it talking about all that. He basically explained everything. He explained the fact that he hasn't been paid for the second event they had. There's obviously 3 events. There was the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and then the finals. The Wade was obviously a commentator on it, and he was supposed to commentate all 3 events. Third event ain't happening. Kingpyn are nowhere to be seen. They haven't spoken to basically anybody near enough. So they're just off the grid at this point. But Wade explained in his video. I'm not going to go through all of it, obviously, because if you want to know the ins and outs, that's Wade's video. He obviously is involved for them. I'm just here to basically touch and give my opinion on the whole situation and see what's happening with it. Is Wade said that he obviously had a contract with them. He was going to get paid for all 3 events. 50% before, 50% after, blah, blah. He says that he hasn't been paid for the second event. He was paid for the first one, hasn't been paid for the second event. He says Face Sensei hasn't been paid for the first event either. And then when he said there was complications about the second event, is the second event's the one that nobody knew if it was happening or not. Kenny, I think, was in Dublin already. Wade was already in Dublin or whatever, making content, not knowing if the event was going to happen. And then Kingpyn didn't book their flights and all that. Wade booked his own flights because he was flying out early. Face Sensei was supposed to be at the second event, but wasn't because they didn't book flights in time and screwed it all over. They're not a very professional company, as we've seen, you know what I mean? They're not very hands-on. Let's actually get shit sorted and have shit sitting upright like misfits. But Wade explained how he didn't get paid for second. Face Sensei didn't get paid for the first. Fighters aren't getting paid. He said he's not going to disclose who's come to him and said they haven't been paid. But that, during his video as well, the owner of Kingpyn, I think, phoned him, he said, and said that he gave him his promise that he would get paid, which that promise does not go a long way, considering signing the contract was already you promising legally to pay him. So you saying I promise word-wise ain't going to mean anything. But either way, Kingpyn has really not responded to much. Fighters aren't getting paid, commentators aren't getting paid, staff aren't getting paid. It already went bankrupt, and then the Zone saved it. Now, am I going to sit here and say I'm shocked? No, because, like I said, Kingpyn went bankrupt, and the only reason that the second event happened was because the Zone decided to come in and save their ass. So, I did not think that, Kingpyn's going to get back up their feet and have a third event. I thought the possibility of them having a third event might be there if the Zone saved them again for the final. But I don't think the Zone wanted to save them again because obviously the whole, I can't remember her name, the whole girl, thing, that's not going to go down well with the Zone. I also don't think that the pay-per-view not even pay-per-view numbers, but like the numbers probably worked out that well. Like, so the Zone probably won't really have an interest in having them back. So who the hell is going to host them? Because they weren't bringing in loads of a crowd. The most crowd they were bringing in was because of what do you call Wenderson Nunes? That's who. Wenderson Nunes. A lot of the crowd was coming for him and Julie. And it's a shame because Julie made it to the finals. I was really looking forward to Julie versus Barbie. I was really looking forward to Gabe versus Kenny, but that's not going to happen now, unfortunately. But I can't say that I'm shocked that it's not going to happen. So all that aside Kingpyn fucking up for the millionth time, I don't think anybody's really shocked anymore. It is a shame because obviously fighters aren't getting paid, commentators, staff aren't getting paid. It is a shame, and I hope they all do get paid in some sort of way. It's like the whole Austin McBroom Social Gloves event again. No one got fucking paid. Only I think Deji and Gibb got paid because the rest of them was like, yeah, we'll accept the money after. Didn't get paid. So it's a whole Social Glove situation again where no one's getting their money. And it is a shame. Hopefully it gets sorted out to some degree at least. But then you focus on the matchups, what's going to happen, because King Kenny versus Gibb, I think that was a good hyped final. I was looking forward to that. Are Misfits going to try and get that? Because I know Gibb hasn't really shown an interest in Misfits. He doesn't think they're offering him enough money, which I think the offer was like, the offer was maybe like 200k, around the same maybe as Slim, and Gibb doesn't think that's worth it. In my personal opinion, I love Gibb, but I think Gibb needs to stop overvaluing himself personally, because Gibb saying that he's worth more than that, it showed in the Kingpyn tournament. that people weren't really, because I love Gib. I think Gib's entertaining the shit, and I like him as a fighter, but I don't think people come to watch Gib as much as he actually thinks, and it's a shame because I really like Gib, but KSI, when KSI does an event, it sells out. When Jake Paul does an event, it usually sells out. I just don't think. I think if Gib went over to Misfits, I think people would get behind Gib more, because I think it's the case of people don't want to watch Social Clubs. People don't want to watch Kingpyn. They want to watch Misfits. Misfits is the best boxing company because that's what's happening. I think if Gib goes to Misfits, I think a lot more people are actually there to see Gib as well, because they're not having to go and buy or watch a different event to watch one Gib fight and watch a bunch of fights that they're not really interested in. I think that's the issue. Most of the events Gib has been on, all the other fights, I thought they were interesting, but a lot of people didn't think they were interesting, and that's why not a big crowd's turned out. So if Gib and Misfits can somehow find an agreement, that would be great, because I'd love to see Gib on Misfits, him versus Kenny, and have that final. Then maybe we'll finally get Slim versus Gib, although Slim's having a bit of trouble with Misfits because he's asking for more than 200k and all that. But hopefully we can get Slim and Gib. That will be amazing. Jarvis has already decided, right, finals ain't happening. Let me call out Saul Poppy. He's trying to fight Saul Poppy on Misfits, which I actually wouldn't mind that fight. Saul Poppy lost his last fight. He's coming back. Jarvis lost his last fight. He's coming back. Saul Poppy's more of a jab and actual boxer. Jarvis is more of a brawler. Jarvis, obviously, I hope he's learned from the Gib fight about the pace and the movement and all. So that might actually be a good fight. So if they can make that happen, that will be great. Like I said, hopefully Gib and Misfits can sort out something, and Gib can come over to Misfits. I know Kenny will be fine on Misfits. He's already fought there. Hopefully they can make that fight. But I hope overall, the main thing is Gib and Misfits can find an agreement. Because like I said, Gib, I just think, is asking for way too much money. What I think Gib needs to do, he's proven he can box, but if Gib just accepts a bit of a lower offer, comes to Misfits, wins fights, they're going to pay him more. That's the way it is. You know what I mean? They're going to pay you more if you come over and you win fights. And if you sell pay-per-views and all that. Jay Swingler was a main event on the times KSI wasn't on. So I think Gib could be the main event on the times that KSI isn't on. You know what I mean? Or just, Gib ain't going to be on the prime card, but get Gib on an undercard of a KSI one. But he probably wants to be main event. So just get him to be the main event of that one. If he accepts a bit less money and just says that. But overall, that's the whole thing about the Kingpyn tournament. Where's the fighters going to go? The fighters aren't getting paid. Staff aren't getting paid. Where's the fighters going to go? Who are they going to fight next? What's Kingpyn going to do about this? Where's Wade going to go to commentate next? Because his relationship with Misfits isn't too good. Gibbs' relationship with Misfits isn't too good. Jarvis trying to get on Misfits. Kenny probably going to go back to Misfits. It's a whole fucking explosion, because Kingpyn going out has just put everybody in a bad situation of where are the fighters going to go? Who are the fighters going to go next? What's happening here? And no one really knows. But that is the overall situation. Obviously, I went into a bit more about the fighters than Kingpyn a little bit, because that's where I'm mainly focused on. If Kingpyn goes out, cool. I don't overly care, because Misfits is the better promotion. I would have just liked to see the final first, but it is what it is. But that's my overall thoughts on it. I don't really know what's going to happen with all the fighters. Hopefully they can sort out stuff, and hopefully we'll see them fight again. But either way, let me know down in the comments below what you all think of the situation. What do you think Gibbs should do, Jarvis should do, Kenny should do, all that? What do you think Wade should do? Let me know in the comments down below your opinions. As always, hope you all are thinking positive and test negative. Hope you all have an amazing day, amazing week, and an amazing weekend. Without further ado, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. So, peace.